Jai Hind and good morning to everyone. This is Twitter Spaces Live, 5 a.m. sharp, and thank you for being live with me. The series continues of quantum personality. Today we are going to be talking about change yourself and the world will follow you. These look very heavy words. Trust me, they are not. The world doesn't follow anyone because there is none to follow. Or if they are following someone, they know who to follow. The point is very simple. Do you want to change? Or you're fine with what you are? That's why yesterday I named that episode as Change or Be Damned. Either you change or you remain what you are. Now, here exactly is the problem. You say that quantum personality started with 3D personality, 6D vision. Then you change over to 6D vision, defining that for 2 episodes. Then again you shift over to timeline for 2 episodes. And from there, you suddenly come to change or be damned. So how are they connected? Let me assure you, this is a very, very well crafted series that I am following, that a person who stays longer is the person who actually wants to change. Listening to one episode and you say, okay, this is how I'll make a difference. No, you cannot. This has to be practiced over a long time. So for this, the first thing required is for you to be convinced that you are a two-dimensional or a one-dimensional person, that you have a desire to change, and that yes, you want to change. You want to make an impact. The problem is only one. How to do it, how to start, and numerous other questions that will come in the minds of people who are in different age brackets. Some of them have convinced themselves, मैं तो ऐसा ही हूं, I am like this only, I can't change. I have already been molded. So that's why this series goes very, very methodically. The first thing that I did was that unless you have a weapon with a soldier, will you send him to war? Unless a farmer has his tools with him, will he go to his fields? Likewise today, work, whether it is laptop, unless you have that, will you go for work? Likewise, unless you have tools, unless you have been given tools to change, to become a 3D personality, will you change? So the first thing I had to do was to equip you with the tools that are mandatorily required to change. And the tool was thinking, rewiring your entire mind into how to think very logically, how to think without any bias, how to think with absolute no hesitation of criticizing yourself. Only then can you actually find out what exactly you have to do. So that's why the first 6 episodes only focused at rewiring that complete brain and how to put that on a timeline to see how the benefits can accrue to you. 7th and 8th episode, that is yesterday and today's, very subtly bring the topic of change now. So we've slowly turned towards change. And that's why yesterday's topic was change or be damned. So you decide for yourself, do you want to? If you want to change, and I gave you that why is this change required? Because it is taking you towards becoming a 3D personality, which is an absolute mandatory requirement if you want to come up as a leader because of your character, because of your personality, and not because you got promoted. That's why I made that distinction between that when you talk about a rank, when you talk about a designation, when you talk about a post which is higher up, that is more a function of vacancy to be fulfilled rather than your qualities as a leader which got you picked up there. So what I'll do now, I'll quickly recap what I had covered yesterday in change or be damned. Number of things I have told you already. I told you yesterday that in the previous 6 episodes we have spoken of 3-dimensional personality, 6-dimensional vision. How do you convert that into 12 different angles to think? What exactly was timeline? What exactly is a simultaneous approach and a sequential approach? Then we spoke of micro and macro, spoke about spectrum, and we put all these things together on a timeline with a purpose that gives us the ability to foresee future after putting facts on the timeline rather than just putting a thought on it. No, what we put is facts. How exactly to come to those facts for events, whether they are events, whether they are people, whether they are issues, whether it is an incident or whether it is a target to be achieved. So how do we think on that? How do we put it on timeline? And then we did practices on timeline. And one of the best practices was when I gave a small example at the beginning of the talk and then kept on talking about my personal timeline of 7 years. And at the end, I asked you solutions. And I was so happy to see so many people came up with solutions that day. If I'm not wrong, 4 or 5 spoke about it. So this means it has put you thinking. I also spoke yesterday of that unless we have the capacity to think, we cannot think correctly, we cannot think objectively, we cannot think for the greater good, and we cannot think for greater good of the nation. So this means when we start thinking, we learn how to think. So not only we start thinking correctly, objectively, thinking for greater good, thinking for the greater good of the organization and nation. What else do we want? Ultimately, if our thinking is in alignment with all of these, which also takes care of our personal requirements, it is a win-win for everyone. We also spoke of the change that is required, the lack of morality, the lack of ethics, the way the things are diluted, and how exactly it is going to make an effect. We spoke about the youth who from the home enters college and enters the civil, whether it is for masters or whether it is in the first job, or he goes for a government job, a youth. That youth goes in armed forces, that youth goes in corporate. And he sees, what he sees is not what he learnt in his home. He never heard his father talk about it, parents talk about it. He gets an absolute shock. So the youth wants to run back to home, back to the safe place, because that's a place where he feels safe. What exactly has happened that this youth who had such excitement for his first job gets so much disillusioned so fast? And this is what I have been covering in my previous episodes, that when we talk about a two-dimensional personality, when I talk about the ranks or designations or positions being a function of vacancy and not being a function of a leader, this is what exactly happens. What he sees, what the youth sees, is only a race. He simply sees that race for money, race for power, race for position, race for attention, race for favors, race for anything that benefits himself. The only thing he is watching is race, and unfortunately, he keeps quiet because he knows that if he talks, he is going to be isolated. So, what does he do? He bides time for some time, and ultimately, he joins the race. That's the most unfortunate part. He ultimately joins the race. Then he becomes a middle level working person. Then he becomes a semi senior. Then he becomes a senior. He has already been formed. 20, 30 years go in this. So he becomes an absolute two-dimensional person whose only job is to prove to the senior that he can do his senior's job at par or better. That is all. And he gets his promotion. Or by the time he has learned how to do and what to do that benefits him. He is very much into justifying to himself anything unethical that he does. So, what has happened is very slowly the race of life that he sees around has ultimately engulfed him like the galaxies or the black holes consume even galaxies. Even stars. It consumes. All you have to do is to stand out within that galaxy to be noticed. Any star, when you look up in the sky, you notice it because it is glowing more than others. That is what 3D personality makes you do. You simply have to shine more than a two-dimensional person, and then you will have a much successful life. This success not being power, position and money. This success is much more than that. That is people. When you have power, position and money, remember one thing. There is only one thing you don't have. People. If the people are there with you, they are more out of compulsion and fear of your designation, rank or the position that you are in, rather than your character. So aim for people. So from here, I come to the last part of yesterday's recap. That was why are we doing all this? That as soon as you start your march towards becoming a 3D personality, your first step towards becoming a genuine leader has already started. I had tweeted yesterday my trust in youth and my life being dedicated to youth. How exactly to form youth, how exactly to form their character is something that I have done for 40 years. I have done that in Indian Military Academy, where I had the cadets. The best part is I am in touch with each one of them personally even today. And as I talk to you, those who are on Twitter or those who are seeing the social media, you would see that this course wants to pay homage to 38 of their batchmates who have lost their lives so far. They all were commissioned in 1993. And in order to pay homage to them. A 9-member team is carrying out a motorcycle ride touching the outer periphery of Rajasthan. And I think this is going to carry on till 19th of January. This is that course. These are the people, part of whom I had trained. So today when I talk to them, I am so proud of each one of them, not because what they became, because what I taught them 30 years hence, I am still following that. That is how you win people. You win people because personally you led them by example. Today, when I talk on YouTube and I talk on live, you must understand the amount of courage of conviction I have when I talk about honesty, or when I talk about professionalism, or I talk about being upright, or or speaking about competency, because not even in one aspects of all this have I ever been found lacking. So why should I not give back to youth which I followed for my life? This is the strength you get as soon as you start your journey towards becoming a 3D personality. So you're not going to lose anything. Coming to today's episode, what we are going to do? I simply say change yourself and the world will follow you. The first point that I will talk about today is justification. When we talk about justification, today you will find anything that is not correct, which you know is not correct, is so easily, so effortlessly justified. There are so many people who have told me that there is no place for truthful, upright, bold people. You have to be smart. You have to be very smart in this life. Absolutely right. I agree with them. My question is, do you want to be smart to go ahead, or do you want to stick to a set of values and still go ahead? The chances are that the guy who is smarter has more chances than you to go ahead and manipulate and go ahead, but ultimately his team will finish. You still will be walking past. You did not get that immediate promotion which you found, or that next position that you wanted in that organization, but in life probably you have gone much ahead of people. This actually is very important. So are you interested in that? So today we justify corruption. The news of so many hundreds of crores in so-and-so government officer's flat, or someone owning 10 flats, no one questions. There are times I wonder, bureaucracy, fine, one knows, one has been hearing about bureaucracy since childhood, about the bribes and everything, this sort of environment in India. There are times I wonder, whenever I see a rank of retired Lieutenant General so-and-so nameplate outside a house, I always wonder, is this money ancestral that he has got something somewhere, or is it his hard-earned service earnings? I know for sure your military service career does not permit you to buy even one decent size flat that is at par with the rank that you retired, or so if you think, 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom. More than that you can't afford, and that too mostly in the military housing organizations colonies, or a smaller one if you come inside cities. You can't afford more than that. Where do people get those big bungalows from? So the point is that justification of incompetence, justification of corruption, justification of low values, justification of power, position, money. Everything is a result of non-stop race. And in this non-stop race, what you find is that people are left behind. You definitely go ahead. Secondly, what is the effect on youth? We push them in school for performance. It's a non-stop pushing going on for performance. From that pushing, we push them into college. We again push them into job. Within the job, we push for performance. We start pushing them for life. When they are in middle age, we again start pushing them for more things, material things. When you are in senior years, you are even pushing yourself more before retirement. The whole thing is about you, me, I. There is hardly anyone who actually does something for the organization. Or whatever you are doing is positively going towards nation building. It is not written anywhere that these activities are nation building. No, if you're working nicely, if you're doing a job honestly, if you're standing by your colleagues, if you're standing by your organization, if you're doing something to benefit the organization, I think you're nation building. That concept of only armed forces doing something for the nation and rest everyone is not doing is, I think, probably the most insulting things to say. There can't be a thing more insulting than this. And this is what the veterans would write. Yeah, this is what we have done. Yeah, fine, you have done. The nation actually acknowledges that. But I think it should stop at that. It cannot be at the cost of berating others. Everyone is working. Everyone is building the nation. And this is how we are pushing everyone. But then does everyone end up doing it? They don't. What is the result? The result is very simple. Everyone becomes a copy of other person. Assistant manager becomes a copy of manager. Manager becomes a copy of general manager. The general manager becomes copy of senior general manager. Or a captain becomes a copy of a major. Major becomes a copy of a lieutenant colonel. And likewise, a bureaucrat from your joint secretary, till the time you reach joint secretary, you become his. And likewise, and you carry on. So everyone is a copy of his senior or two level senior, and he's doing exactly the same thing. Only thing that is different is polish is slightly different. Someone does it openly, someone does it behind the back, someone is much more manipulative, and that's why that coffee time gossip. What we forget is at the end of the day, each one of them essentially is on one side. The degree to which they are getting involved in this race is different. But ultimately, they are part of the same race. So how exactly are you different from them? We are absolutely same. What do you think has been left behind in this race? There is something big that has been left behind. If it is a youth, I will say the youth doesn't know what he must carry ahead. But for anyone who is middle age and slightly senior in age, they must think that in this race, what have they left behind? You know, they have left behind what? They have left behind something that they should have carried for entire life. But they cannot identify that. That what is it that they should have carried for entire life, but they have left behind. They have left behind what makes a person stand out in a crowd. They have never paid attention to that. So today they are part of the crowd and they don't know what they have left behind is actually what would have made them stand out in the crowd. Most importantly, what you have actually left behind is actually the thing that makes up the third dimension in you. What you have left behind will make you a three-dimensional person. So this means you carried on with two, you left your most important dimension behind, which when joined makes you a three-dimensional person. Three-dimensional personality. Do we ever pay attention to it? That what is it that we left behind? And what you left behind is precisely what makes you a leader. Listen to these things very carefully, analyze it, that what you left behind is what makes a leader. Now go look around and see everywhere. Tell me how many people carry that ahead. How many people have identified what they have left behind? How many people have identified what is it that would have made them stand out? Have you ever paid attention to it? Have you ever thought about it? We don't. We never do. That brings me to the next very important question. You will think, is it possible to regain? And this is that place where I come in to give you that confidence that do not start thinking that now that my character has been made this way, there is no way I can change. Remember one thing, the best thing about character is only one. The stronger character always overshadows the weaker character. Two people with strong character, between them, the stronger one shines. So if you start changing today, so your weaker character now gets overshadowed by your stronger character. There cannot be a more encouraging thing than this to hear that yes, you can always regain, the change is possible. And that brings me to my next question. Why must you regain? Is there any requirement to regain? When you're doing so well today, you're getting a fat package, you're getting numerous perks, you're getting ESOPs, you're getting promotions, you are doing well in bureaucracy, you are doing well in military. So, is there any point in regaining? My point is simple. The very fact that in this 8th episode, you still are getting up at 5 in the morning and you are listening to what I have to say, it simply means that you want to change. You are tired of whatever you see around. You have no idea of how to change or how to affect this change or how to regain or what were you missing or what is it that you have left behind. You see a ray of hope beyond the usual. Probably when a person like me speaks to you, probably you want to listen more, maybe because of my introduction and my veterans declaration, which is on YouTube live, which I have put there, where you will find no other veteran has ever dared to put it like that. So probably there is something you think that this man talks, and like I always assure you, if I haven't done, I will not speak. So if I tell you to regain, remember even I have regained. I must have dropped so many things in this journey. So The fact that you are listening and this eighth episode you are around, that's the reason you must change because you want to. Then you're going to ask me the next question. If I undertake this journey of change, will the impact be felt? Take my assurance. It will be felt absolutely. It will be felt at home. It will be felt at work. It will be felt in life. You will feel it in your mind, and this will happen so smoothly that no one will notice. And over a period of given time, your stronger character will overshadow the weaker one. Next, we come to again a natural question that you will ask me: how must I do it? So, here is the exact way how you should do it. So, I don't talk generic at all. The first thing, like I told you today, was that unless I equip you with the correct tools to start this change, there is no point. And what is that one tool which I gave you? Is rewiring your brain into thinking correctly. So you must go over the first 6 episodes again and again and again. Those are the tools which culminate in a timeline. What is a 3D personality? What is 6-dimensional vision? And what is timeline? There are 2 episodes for each. That gives you the strongest tool, that is called thinking. Unless you have that tool, you cannot change because you are trying to change your mindset. So that is one. Start a very simple exercise from today. Soon as this episode finishes, you start your exercise. And start your exercise by thinking about yourself. Take a pen and a paper. First think from 12 different angles about yourself. Write down on a paper any number of things that you do not like about yourself, which have a reflection on character, which you would like to change, and be very, very honest to yourself. You are not telling this to anyone. You are not showing this to anyone. So there should be no shame. You write down, no, I am corrupt. I backbite. I lie. I do not stand for my subordinates. I ask like my senior. Whatever. You write about yourself. I manipulate. I manipulate anything that benefits me. Or smallest of the things. I'm short of patience. I shout at people unnecessarily. Whatever you want, whatever you think about yourself, write down everything. That's the first exercise. Finish that exercise today. Once you have finished it, think over, and thereafter just go for your normal work of the whole day. At night, before sleeping, think about everything that you have written about yourself. And just do one thing. Before you sleep in the night, pick up any 4 points out of that. Just 4. And sleep. Tomorrow morning, get up, freshen yourself, and give your thinking session 10 minutes. Sit quietly Think about these 4 points which you thought previous night that you must improve, and then deliberate over those 4 points in your thinking session in the morning, and you say, today I will implement all of them if a situation arises. And I have been talking about events. They may not arise. That is fine. But don't forget about these 4. In the night, when you are sleeping, think about the whole day. Think about the 4 things that you wanted to improve that day. How many events took place? How did you behave? And go to sleep. Next day morning, again think about these 4. Again think about the whole day. Think about all the events that are going to take place. Exactly do the same exercise. Follow those during the day in the normal course of behavior. Sleep before sleeping in the night, analyze. 4 habits, 15 days, period. Nothing more than this is required. 16th day, pick up another 4. 16th day, the exercise becomes slightly difficult. Not only do you have to remember the first 4, now you start practice with the second 4 and start implementing them. 15 days. After a month, give yourself a couple of hours of session of thinking. Think about your all qualities that you wanted to improve, written down on a paper. Think about the 8 you had picked up. Carry out an assessment of how you have performed on those 8. Self-assess yourself. If you want to rejig the entire thing and start thinking again. You have already started your journey from a 2-dimensional personality towards 3-dimensional personality. This is how you put the self-improvement. That is the first thing we need. And once you have started doing it, it will become such a habit that unless you think every day, you will say, there's something that I have not done today. You will miss things. And you will miss your thinking sessions. So with the first focus to yourself, to your shortcomings, your first step towards it has been taken. That brings me to the end of today's session. It's exactly 40 minutes that this session lasted. Next Monday and Tuesday, I will start talking about refurbishing our character. I am not saying that we mold it. I am saying refurbishing. This means it was something we are trying to do with that, something with that. We are going to talk about the character, the commitment, the capability. And we are talking about refurbishing. When we talk about refurbishing, I put all these words very, very close to our life words, because these words we keep on hearing. So what is this refurbishing going on? There was something that was supposed to be originally like that, which is not. So let us try to put it back to originality, the way it was. And we are talking about our mind. So with this, I think I am off for this week now. The Hindi translations of these 2 sessions, yesterday and today, will be tomorrow in Twitter Spaces at 7 p.m. in the evening and day after. And with English 5 a.m. Club, I'll be back again next Monday morning and Tuesday. And trust me, there are times even I forget to put a Twitter Space session on Twitter. Like yesterday's was put, I think, day before yesterday night, slightly late. No, it was Sunday. Yeah, Sunday morning, 11 o'clock thing, I had forgotten. But rest assured, Monday and Tuesday, make it a habit of logging in before 5. You will always find me here. Till the time I announce that I am discontinuing. And I am done. Thank you so much. I see one request. So Shailesh,
very good tool that you have provided, sir. And most of the time we think about the whole world, everything, but we don't give time to ourselves. That is the best thing. Thank you for that. We will definitely try to do it, and let's see how we can grow ourselves.
Thank you, Salesh. Thank you for saying that. Right then, thank you so much for being here. Bye bye and Jai Hind.